guys. I hope that you guys are doing amazing wherever you are in the world. I know that I usually don't speak on politics in these kind of social media channels because I think that political talk should be left to the political people and not people like us who have no clue what the hell they're talking about. Especially me because I really don't follow politics. But I've been noticing an alarming trend, and I'm sure you guys are kind of looking at it as well, thinking, "What the hell is going on this planet?" And the more I look at it, the more I think to myself that this can't be real. I mean, we cannot be living in this world right now where literally people are being separated out from their children. So if you guys aren't aware of what's going on, if you haven't been paying attention, what's happening at the borders, at U.S. borders, is that migrant children or immigrant children or people who are coming in, maybe claiming refugee status, whatever it might be, at the borders, at U.S. borders, are being separated out from their parents. So they're being put into cages, they're being put separately from their parents in a different situation where they're 2 or 3 year olds who are not allowed to be with their parents because apparently they're a huge risk to the national security. Or perhaps, I don't know what Donald Trump is thinking, what the whole U.S. government is thinking when they're doing these, because these 2 or 3 year olds who are crying and wanting to be with their families don't seem like a huge threat to me. But I'm not an expert, of course. The main thing, though, what I wanted to speak about is that no matter what's going on in the world, we have a tendency as human beings to say, well, you know, they must know what they're doing, or, you know, they're leaders, we elected them, let them do what they're supposed to be doing. Or we have this tendency to say, well, if we kind of started interrupting them, if we started saying things to them and we started saying, okay, you should do it this way or you should do it that way, then we'd have to kind of put our 2 cents into everything that's going on this planet. And a lot of us don't have the energy, the time, maybe the capacity to do all that stuff. The problem, in my opinion, that arises is that the more we start ignoring what's going on this planet, the more these power-hungry, crazy dictators are kind of coming up onto the planet. One of them being Donald Trump, one of them being all of the crazy people in the dictator in North Korea and Vladimir Putin, Russia's leader. What's going on with that is that if we keep on giving them the president, if we keep on giving them the power to do whatever the hell they want because they are leaders, or they seem to know what they're doing, or perhaps they know what they're doing, or what's going to happen is that eventually all of this stuff is going to be normalized. This taking kids away from migrants or minorities is going to be normalized. And it's going to become as if, like, you know, if you allow one little thing to happen, it's going to kind of cause a cascade of all these decisions to come into fruition. So if you allow one of these migrant families to be separated from their kids, then it's kind of giving them a green signal to go ahead and do this with every family, with every minority family. Then they're be coming after the Japanese, they're going to be coming after the Indians, they're going to be coming after all of those, just because that's how it is. You know, it starts off with a little bit of a push. They see how far they can push us. They see how far they can go with us. And if we ignore it, then they push a little bit further, and then they see, okay, can we go a little bit further than that? And then they go a little bit further, right? I've actually noticed a trend in my own life, and I'm not a political person at all, but I have this tendency for myself to not let things go. If something's happening around me, even if it's a minor thing, and I think to myself, I hate this, and this is not how it's supposed to be happening, and I speak up against it, I notice that people always tell me, you know, why don't you just quieten down? Why don't you just calm down? It's not a big deal. Everything's fine. Why do you have to be so stringent? Why do you have to be so strict? Why do you always have to speak up? Why can't you just let it go? Why can't you just chill out? Why don't you just go smoke some pot and just relax? I get this said to me a lot, and I think to myself, oh, I see how it is. So if I am going to speak up on a certain issue which is important to me, and if you tell me, you know, that, oh, why don't you just chill out? And if I did chill out, because that's what a lot of people are on this planet, a lot of people are being told right now, well, why don't you just chill out? Don't freaking chill out. Don't freaking chill out for a second when you see these kind of random nonsense atrocities happening to people. Like, it literally is something which is akin to what was happening during the Nazi regime. And I hate comparing what's happening right now to what happened in the Nazi regime, because that was much, much, much worse, right? But who knows where we're going with all this stuff? I mean, I saw some pictures of children with numbers on them as if like they were being taken into a concentration camp, like a internment camp. I mean, what is going on here? Why do children, I mean babies, why do babies need to be separated out from their mother? What is the point of that? How is that How does that make any sense in any part of the world? How are children, babies, how are they a threat to national security in any way, shape, or form? How is that? How is I don't have words anymore. Like, the more I think about it, the angrier I get. But that's the whole point of it. We all have a responsibility right now. We can't just be sitting back and saying, they know what they're doing. Everything's going to be fine. They're going to figure it out. No, they won't, because they're pushing us to see how far they can push us. And we need to push back and tell them, enough is freaking enough, and you can't do this anymore. And the more of us that speak up, the more they're going to realize, okay, you can't just keep on pushing us into the beyond and do all these stupid things without any consequences to them, right? So again, I just really want to share this because it's such an important topic at the moment, and it's just so important that we actually speak up on this. It's important, guys. It's really, really important. I hope that, I'm not kind of really invading your Facebook feed when you're here to look for positive stuff with something kind of negative. But I'm hoping that this is more of a thing of like taking action, doing something, spread the word, talk about it, rather than lie down and let it happen kind of thing, which is a lot of times what we tend to do with politics. And I know, because I do that myself. Okay? All right, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time around. Bye for now.